So, brief about Prakarsh. Prakarsh is currently working as a community builder with Devpost, which apparently is a software development company. I guess you give creators, rather I would say makers who are like skilled in software development, a platform to showcase their skills, right? And of course, Prakarsh will be elaborating and explaining this in details. So the journey he started, like his community building journey, started with Skillenza, an online platform that hosts coding assessments and some hackathons as well to help some companies in hiring engineers or some other resources as well. So today he is here with all of us to share his community journey, his experiences, and his learnings. So rather than me speaking a lot about Prakarsh, I would give it up to Prakarsh to introduce yourself. And yes, let's start this session.
Thank you so much, Akshita. So, hey everyone, if you know me, then you know me. And if you don't know, I am Prakarsh and I take care of communities for Devpost. We've been building products for developers out there, and it's an NYC based company, but we are globally very strong in hackathons, and we're globally strong in developer marketing and these multiple things. And my journey has been like full of ups and downs. Like I feel that today I'm like I guess this was a start of communities got started like very early at a young age with me, and it was as very small as learning that there is a college and there are people who are going to code. So it's as small as that. So yes, I got started a little early, and it's been a great journey for me till now. And I guess the most important part about this journey would be, or I would say that the most important takeaway was that communities has really helped me to be more absorbent around my profession. And it's a profession which is more compassionate right now. Like we have seen people doing jobs and being in jobs that they say are soul sucking in some kind of nature, but when I really got the privilege of getting close to the developers, getting close to people, what they are building in, and how passionate they are for software, and they share the same passion I have for software, I just got into this, and I've been doing this for past 3.5 years, and it's been an amazing journey so far.
You said that you have been into, like, you have been a techie. So how this community thing came into picture? Like, I just want to know about your initial time. Like, when did this thing strike that, okay, fine, this is something where I am going to do. Like, I'm going to be, and I'm going to, continue my journey in this community industry itself, and I'm going to grow it big, and whatever you had your thoughts.
I guess I would say it. I guess I owe this to my seniors. Like, I really owe it to my seniors like Arkututi, Paras Pundir, and how they have guided me, and how they have they have showed me the side of how we can be really compassionate around software, and just not like just writing a piece of code is a binary thing. You're going from zero to one. You're creating a building block, and that is very necessary into a right of the days. But this thing for years and years have been very transactional to a point that it lost the passion it had in it. It's just now like I'm very much like concerned on developer community speaking right now, because the point is that the moment it just got into just creating software and pushing software, deploying software out there, creating more of it, writing optimized code, doing more of cloud services, and it just got started on a point that it became monotonous for people, because they were not in a journey. Which journey that yielded gave them a point of view that, okay, if I'm doing this, what is my contribution towards things? How would I know that? So my seniors were so so passionate about teaching us how to do this. So I got meddled into this, and today I love what I do. So yeah.
Great, yeah, great. So I will be like, your community is very niche specific. So I would like because we have very different kind of audience, like people are from different verticals. So I would firstly start with a generic approach, maybe then we can delve deeper into the niche as well. So what do you think that, what role does community play in a business, probably in a generic, in generic terms I'm saying, not very niche specific. So yeah,
Sure.
what is your take in that? And again, like this question will be followed by that, how community building is developing Devpost as well.
Yeah, exactly. I'll get to that. So for us, like if I say community, whenever I say the word community, the word is very simple. You have a community, and the word is very to the face, that a group of people. The group of people really determined to be with each other and towards one goal. For example, if we are today, I guess I work for a development company. You're working for a platform. There was no sense that we could have been together in an IGTV life. But how we are together right now, it's because of the community. That's what the power of community holds. That I got to know you, I was contributing somewhere. It's all about where do you want to contribute and how much you want to contribute. That's what community is, and doing it together. I guess the sense of community started from schools. Like if you just go deep, if you just go back in your time and you see that a school is just a coalition, just an artificial community made by people, and they are just together and they are towards one goal. And this is how you learn compassionate. This is how you learn comradeship. This is how you learn that you have to be together with people. You have to support people. You have to learn, like, you have to see failures, and you're not just seeing the failures with yourself. So it started at a very young age, and today's business, how the business has formed, the businesses are tired of being so transactional. The businesses are done being transactional. The ATL, like the above the line marketings, are just getting too much saturated, and the businesses need a niche for them, something to hold upon, something to hook for. So that's what community is. It lets people find their hooks, something you're good at, and we're together. So that's what community is for me in generic approach. Now I'll come back to what do I do for Devpost and how community is helping Devpost. So Devpost is basically a software, like you come over there, you make software and you show it to the world. We have multiple clients, Google, Amazon, tons and tons of big conglomerates working with us. Now, why do they see the potential of communities, or why do they say, okay, we have to put forward our best foot forward for these people? Because these people are together and they cherish each other in what they are building. For example, if you take my example, if I'm working on something on Amazon and I'm trying to learn AWS, I'm trying to learn EC2 instances, a lot of stuff, and I see someone from the same niche doing that. So that really creates that kind of that really pushes me in to do it, right? That's what our school was. If we see someone doing something, and if we were going there to really learn, we would learn, right? So it's very molded with each other. It's like being in a school, and school for big people, school for developers, and how they get schooled together and how they educate themselves together. So our focus is very much upon getting these. Developer advocacy and DevRel is something which is next to this. Right now, these are very coined terms, developer evangelism. So at the end of the day, these are very simple terms. They are pushing out their product. They are pushing out for you to build more, just because you see other people building more of things like this. So yeah, I guess the answer got like super elongated, but I guess you get the point, right?
Yes. Totally getting the point. So, okay, fine. We got to know how you got into community. Then what are you doing in the community in building and growing your organization? So, of course, any work that we do or any project we start, we do face some challenges, or there are some blockers, definitely. So, would you mind sharing some major challenges that you faced while you started, your community building journey, right from the Skillinza time when you were like quite learning?
Yeah, obviously. So I failed. I'll start with that. Okay. Yeah, I failed with it. Like it was so tough to do, and So I guess, so I'm going to ask you a question, Akshita. Akshita, for you, the most toughest people to handle, can you tell me the age group they have? Like, what are the most toughest people you have ever seen that you can handle? And think of them as an audience, as your user, your potential UA. So what do you think is the most toughest user group you feel is there out there?
I would somewhere say like, somewhere around 25 to 40. Like they are the people who are like, highly active on this virtual platform or, in these online activities. And of course, they are the one who are the quite trickiest audience as well. Because there
Exactly.
are
So you
situations that I have personally felt.
Yeah, so you get that, right? So people who are aware of what they are doing, people who are aware of, yes, Gen Z, yeah, Shiv, you're right too. So yeah, Gen Z is like one of the toughest audience to get, and so people who are aware, who know what they want, and they are in a sense of that there is something which can't control the. They don't want their content to be controlled. They don't want things to be filtered from them. They are out there to get unfiltered things out there. So it's a very tough it's a very tough thing to get into their heads, and you just can't directly get into their heads by just niche marketing or something, just putting out an advertisement for them. Okay, XYZ, you have to join this brand, you have to work with this brand, you have to become a user of this brand. So the final journey of becoming a user. So for me, my job was to create that complete user journey for people from very young age to people who have been experienced. And I really failed in that. I'm not gonna lie, because yes, and I learned from my failure. I wrote a blog for it, that how to fail at making communities and how to make it more takeaway. So that's how it started. I started like I think I'll go to an extent giving kudos to my founder, that he had the trust in me that I could do it, and he had the trust in me that I could make software. I could go I could come to the point where I am educating people about communities. But yeah, I guess it started with a trust, which is very basic in a community, that he trusted me that I'm going to do things, and he shared that trust. And I guess I'm gonna go out there and tell that multinational companies and multinational communities are easier to build because of the resourcefulness they have and everything they have. But if you have to do it for a startup, the startup is basically trying to get more users at a very, like, they are trying to create the best MVP out there. Right. The best MVP out there, and they are trying to create a slim model, because we don't have that big user base, we don't have that resources to pull off. And I started with that, and it was a journey which really made me feel it. It really changed me as a person, because I guess it does. Like, when you see in your head you are the best person, in your head you are the fucking hero, like you know what you're doing, and you're like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to make sure that around 1,000 people know about it. But when reality hits you, when there is reality, you're going out there with your product in the market, and people are like, no, we don't like this. And you thought it was the best product out there. You thought it was the best program you made. You thought, and your dream home just comes to a very shatterful end. And that's how I started. And then I learned. From every step I learned, okay, if I do this, my specific members are going to react like this. If I need to grow this, I need to do that. If I need to give an incentive, I need to create more programs. This is how many user acquisition we are getting. This is the engagement we are on right now. So like, it starts with any product you are seeing, like for even Instagram, to any product you see are running different programs, and they are trying and testing. So I feel communities are not mostly science, it's art. You have to be an artist, you have to paint it away, and you just can't do it like right in the first go, I feel.
Coming to the engagement part, I would first ask you, like, what are, if you could share some of your content hacks that you use to keep your community engaged, because bringing people to the same page on and often is a real pain. So how you are like, coping up with this, or how you are like dealing up with it?
Okay. So yeah, it's a very interesting question. like, because in terms of, if you really like, there are, I'll not say, like, I think I've told you in the meeting as well, I'll not say it's a hack. It's a procedure to do it. It's a technique to do it. And it's mostly people like the sound of their own voice. They do. As a community, they do. And they like to be cherished, they like to be loved, and they like to be highlighted. Even as a user, even as a community member, even as a participant, you have to be like, you have to make sure that everyone is heard of, and everyone is out there, and everyone is like, you make sure that, because you see, we come from a disparity of that there are too many people around, and those people are, or attention to those people gets distributed, even in a community, even as a product, even as a service or anything. Because I can't make things which are very specific for a niche audience. So in the same way, if I really want to engage with that audience, I need to listen to them like very closely. I need to listen to them. I need to celebrate them. I need to cherish them. And I would say you want them, like in today's generation and today's way of doing things, I feel, what is the easiest way they could reach out to you, and what is the easiest way they can make you hear. And I think I have found that polling, the sense of polling, that you could actually poll to something and you can share your thought, or you can just add in something. That's one of the we have Rishabh over there, and he's a great motivation too for me. So yeah. So I guess that's very important in terms of engaging with your people around there, and making them feel that they are at home, even if they are using a service, even if they are using a product. And that familiarity is very important, because if they log into something, they must feel the familiarity. They must not feel aloof. So making sure that you're creating content which has actually came through them, and they are part of it. They should be a part of it. Anything you're going to share, for example, let's take example of me being part of this IGTV Live. See, I'm always coming back to this, because this is a very good example of us conversing about this. So you shared something, you shared that I'm speaking with LikeMinds right now. And for the next of my experience, I'm always going to share LikeMinds IGTV videos, because I was a part of it and I was heard because of LikeMinds, right? So this is how you create that trust between your members, the trust between your users. And this is how, like, this is very much into, like, this is also a part of building software with compassion and building things with compassion. So yeah, this is how you do it. This is how you engage.
I agree. And rightly you said earlier as well, like, even if like whatever component is there in a community, it has to be in proportion. Totally agree. And finally, I would say, like, communities can really be overwhelming, especially like, when someone is very new in the industry and they have just started working as a community manager or community builder. So it often leads to burnouts as well. So, how do you keep that balanced approach towards community? Because I am a person who lacks in creating balance. So what is like, how is your approach towards it?
It's actually like very, very, very natural, and it's very natural. We have like a set of social stamina with us, right? Our social stamina is this much, or somebody would have more, and it's very natural in terms of seeing it as a human, because your ability to converse with so many people, to take absorb so much input at a time, and then create something tangible out of it, it has a limit to it. And you can't progressively do things on a daily basis or on a very regular basis. So you need to automate things for you. You need to automate things what you can do. For example, I can go out and farm for myself, right? But that's a very laborious process to actually go out there, put a seed, make it grow, the complete farming process. So I would not involve myself into doing something which would be very laborious for me and very laborious for the community as well, or for my users as well. So I would do something instead. I would automate the things which are on repetitions, and I would do things which really needs human intervention. and that is people. That's not sending a mail, or that's not getting a notification out, or getting something. That you need to automate those things. You need to make them more not on your, like, you need to set your ways. Like you can use multiple automation tools, and you can use multiple automations, so that your contribution towards your community or towards your people comes to a point that where you choose that, okay, it's going to be till this hour to this hour, because every member is taking something from you. They're taking your sanity, they are taking away your compassion, they are taking away your things. But you need to make sure that you save it for yourself too, that you don't go insane, that I have given so much to people that I don't have, now I'm losing my shit, and be like, okay, how do I do that? So you need to make yourself more inclusive. You need to treat yourself as a community member. You need to treat yourself as a part of the community, because you can't be aloof from it. You are a part of it. So yeah.
It was really amazing to have you here, and this session was quite candid as well. Thanks for sharing your learnings, and looking forward to more of such sessions. And one thing I would like to say, like, I would like to tell everyone that Prakarsh is also one of the member of Communityhood. Yes, keep sharing your insights and your learning, so that we can together build Communityhood as well. And yes, thank you so much for joining. Like, everyone, thanks a lot, and thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, guys.